everybody, welcome back to my travel vlog. So today we are going to be talking about Fez and my entire impression of Morocco, and I'm just going to be giving you guys tips and suggestions if you ever find yourself in Morocco. So I got into Fez from Portugal, and I had booked a group tour. Most of the time I get in like in the middle of the day or late at night, and I just check in, have some dinner, and go straight to sleep. Like, I'm not gonna put my bags up and go exploring. No, after traveling for hours on end, it's sleep time. So the next morning, I met the persons that were going to be on the tour with me. They were also persons that were staying in the Riyadh. So we met our tour guide and we stepped out of the Medina and we started the tour. Our Riyadh was directly in the Medina. So Fez is the second largest city in Morocco. It houses the largest Medina in the world. So basically the central attraction of Fez is the Medina. Thousands of people living and working in the Medina with hundreds of streets. And there are just so many alleyways, so many streets. Cars are not allowed to go through the Medina, so it's a car-free zone. You're gonna find a lot of donkeys coming through and dogs and cats and things like that, but there are no cars. It's just thousands of people that are working, they're selling their wares and they're making their crafts. So much activity going on in Medina. So as soon as you step out, you name it, it's there. You've got merchants selling rugs, candles, scarves. You have persons making crafts, making copper pots. You have persons, they're making rugs and duvets the old-fashioned way. It is just a beehive. That's what the Medina felt like. So the first stop that we made was to the oldest university in the world. So we stopped there, we got a little history lesson. We walked around, took a lot of shots, and then we moved on to one of the larger mosques in North Africa. So the mosque is able to have thousands of worshipers just worshiping there at the same time. When I visited Fez, it was during a Muslim holiday, and there were a lot of persons from the continent that had traveled to Fez to observe that particular holiday. So after we were done there, we went to a Moroccan oil shop, which I really enjoyed. I even bought something. That was pretty cool, watching them extract the oil and everything. So that was amazing. So when you Google Fez, the main picture that shows up is that of the tannery. So this tannery was established in the 11th century. So once we went around a good portion of the Medina that was close to our Riyadh, we headed towards the tannery. The first thing that greets you when you go to the tannery is the smell. The smell welcomes you. It just says, welcome, welcome, come on in. They give you mint leaves and it makes the smell at least tolerable. And so we go up to the very top and we have a tour. We have a special tour guide for that. And he tells us the history behind this famous tannery. And one of the things that he said that I found so interesting, he said that back in the day, the workers would tend to write in their marriage contract that their wives could not leave them on the premise of their smell. So I thought that was crazy interesting. You could divorce me for other things, but not that. They showed us how they took the fur off of the skins, how they colored the skins, and how they stitched them together to create all of the products that were in the various stores. So that was basically the tour. And when you go downstairs, of course, then they have a little presentation to see if you want to buy anything. I did buy something. I bought a leather wallet. And that's basically the Medina in a nutshell. One of the other things that I found so cool, in the Medina, the restaurants, before you eat, they allow you to go in the back into the kitchen and taste test the food before you purchase it. I thought that that was so cool that you could taste test and make up your mind and choose whether or not you want to stay in that particular restaurant. When you go to Fez, the Medina really is the main attraction. So once you've done the Medina, you're good. And the next day I had a day tour to Chefchaouen. The day after that I kind of relaxed and I didn't really venture out. But that is Fez in a nutshell. There is so much history in that city. It set the tone for the rest of my trip, and I would definitely say that Fez gave me a really good impression of Morocco. So now we are going to talk about my tips. So the very first thing that I would advise on when going to Morocco, depending on what country you are from, as a Bahamian citizen, I needed a visa. Make sure that you don't need a visa. That's number one. The second thing is that cash is king in Morocco. When you're in the Medina, there are a lot of merchants that do not accept credit cards. So you want to make sure that you exchange your money as soon as possible. Do not go with the notion that you're gonna find an ATM machine at every corner in Morocco. Change your money when you get to the airport. That's what I did. Cash is king. The third tip is dress code. So I had somebody ask me, what do you wear when you go to Morocco? So my answer would be for the ladies, I can only tell you what I do when I'm in Morocco in regards to the dress code. I visited Egypt 2 years ago, and so it was not my first time in an environment that was really conservative in regards to the dress code. In Morocco, they adhere to the same conservative way of dress. So I tried to avoid anything that exposed too much cleavage, that was too short, that was too tight, anything that bared my midriff, my back. And I was sure to bring a very loose jacket with me, just in case. And that's basically it. Does that mean that you have to follow my guidelines? No, it doesn't. You're not going to get thrown in jail because of it. But I have a thing about having common courtesy when you're going into a different culture. So it's courtesy and it's a little bit of respect because I'm in a different culture and that's their way. So that's why I do it. That's my thing. The fourth thing, if you are in Marrakesh and you are in the square, be advised that if you are going to be taking pictures of the snake charmers or the person singing or the person's dancing, they will charge you for those pictures. Sometimes they charge $5, $10. One of the snake charmers were charging 20 USD just to take a picture of him charming the snakes. Now that is his livelihood. That is what he does. So if you don't want to pay 20 USD, then don't take the photo. But be advised that you will be charged to take a photo. And lastly, a word of caution. If you're walking around by yourself and you get lost and you have persons that just stop you and like, I'm gonna give you directions, be very mindful that some of those persons might not be sincere in wanting to help you. I've heard a lot of stories of persons being lost and somebody trying to help them and they lead them around in circles and they get frustrated and the person's like, no, you owe me 100 dirhams for just taking you around in the wrong direction. Or you have persons that are telling you that they're going to give you free tours around the Medina. Nothing, my friend, is free. It's not free. It is not free. So be very careful and be very mindful of that. Also, the language that they speak is Arabic, French. They speak a little bit of Spanish. But you don't have to know any of that. You don't. In a lot of cases, when you're visiting a lot of these countries, not knowing how to speak their language, it doesn't stop the fun. So go with an open mind and have a great time. And so that is my thing. My impression of Morocco. My impression of Morocco, I loved Morocco. I have been dying to go to Morocco for such a long time, and I finally got the opportunity to go. I enjoyed myself immensely. It was a great experience. I met this Australian girl, her name was May, and she was just the sweetest. But when you're on these group tours, you meet people that, just are just so sincere, that are on the same journey as you, that just want to travel the world, or persons who are retired. I mean, there's so many different people, so many different stories, and that's one of the joys of traveling. And so that was my experience in Morocco. If I could do it over again, I would give myself more days. That's what I would have done. I hope that you've seen all 3 clips, Chefchaouen, my time in the desert, and this one, and hopefully I get to go to the other cities. If you have been to Marrakesh, if you have been to Chefchaouen, be sure to leave a comment. Tell me what was your experience in these different places. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are on Facebook, be sure to like this video, to share this video, to like the page. If you are on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the notification button. And like I said, I will see you all next week. Bye. Oh, happy Halloween.